Welcome to the future of digital publishing. The publishing industry has undergone unprecedented transformation in the digital age. Technological innovation, global connectivity, and evolving consumer behaviors have reshaped how creative work is produced, distributed, and consumed. As digital platforms democratize access and participation, they simultaneously introduce new challenges related to authorship, labor, and sustainability. This report analyzes six major challenges that have shaped the publishing industry over the past decade and examines how these pressures have driven systemic change within the digital economy. Across these interrelated challenges, a consistent theme emerges: the tension between creative autonomy and economic sustainability in a networked marketplace. Authors and publishers must navigate issues of unpaid labor, visibility, and intellectual property within increasingly platform dependent ecosystems. Yet, as the case studies and forecasts in this report suggest, innovation and collaboration have also produced new pathways toward equity and resilience. By 2035, technological adaptation, cooperative business models, and a renewed focus on creative value have enabled the publishing sector to balance productivity with protection, ensuring that creators can thrive within a dynamic and ethically grounded digital economy. Challenge 1: Access and Expectations. Digital disruption is transforming media consumption as readers transition from print publications to digital platforms. This shift is driven by demand for instant gratification, interactivity, and low cost access. Publishing is moving from lengthy publisher controlled cycles to creator led and consumer funded ecosystems, where online communities and reading platforms collapse distinctions between professionals and amateurs. Digital publishing has inverted dependencies. Authors now sustain themselves through online communities and self publishing, while publishers must justify their role in a disintermediated marketplace. Reading was once solitary and passive, but the digital environment fosters participation. Readers now expect immediate access to stories and opportunities for interaction and collaboration with creators and fellow fans. Online communities create feedback loops through comments, reviews, and fan creations that shape stories in progress. Chapter by chapter publication models, such as those found in comics and web novels, let creators gather real time reader feedback and refine their work accordingly. Once sustained by wealthy patrons, creative work now draws on diverse, consumer driven funding. Emerging models such as subscription services, crowdfunding, and micropayments transform how creative labor is valued, embracing hybrid monetization that align with readers' willingness to support creators. Once dismissed as unviable due to transactional costs, micropayments have gained traction as consumer motivations evolve and purchases become frictionless and community driven. Web novels illustrate the normalization of this transition. Platforms such as Kidian, Web Novel, and Royal Road attract readers with free chapters, monetizing engagement via pay per chapter access. These models recast readers as active patrons rather than passive consumers, blurring the boundary between creation and consumption. This redefinition of the reader creator relationship shifts visibility and marketing responsibilities onto authors. By 2035, community based creation and consumer funded production may dominate digital fiction. Platforms may serve as creative marketplaces, decentralizing publishing power and allowing creators to retain control while serving niche global audiences. Creators that adapt to emerging technologies and evolving reader expectations will thrive, redefining publishing as a collaborative and continuous process. Challenge 2: Content Overload. Low barriers to entry reduce the impact of inequalities, allowing anyone with internet access to contribute to the digital content ecosystem. This, however, causes an explosion of mostly free global content. The abundance benefits consumers but intensifies competition for visibility. Serial fiction platforms incentivize rapid, ongoing production to sustain engagement, with algorithms favoring frequent updates and high engagement rates, pressuring authors to publish frequently to stay visible. Algorithms extract user data to refine recommendation systems, and the free labor of creators and readers fuels platform profitability. While authors may monetize through micropayments, many reinvest earnings in paid promotion, creating a circular economy that benefits the platform. Content abundance and attention scarcity reshape publishing, forcing authors to adapt to accelerated production cycles and discoverability driven marketing strategies. In the attention economy, visibility becomes currency, rewarding creators who maintain constant output. As Van Nuxen observes, once content is infinite, the platform that delivers it becomes the product. For sustainability, platforms cannot remain the sole beneficiaries of the content deluge. Authors now decide not just what to write, but where to publish, based on platform expectations and monetization opportunities. With millions of titles being released annually, readers experience content overload and creators struggle to retain audience attention. While consumers can interact and shape story production, serialized release can reduce reader attention by luring readers to alternate works. Amid global competition for visibility, author collectors and fandom networks sustain audiences and share promotional labor. However, participation requires unpaid, ongoing engagement, further expanding the hidden labor of authorship. Though Shuranek denounced data extraction platform systems, Chang predicts them as the future of storytelling. By 2035, cooperative monetization models may share value more equitably between platforms and creators, with authors able to understand changing trends and reader preferences through real time data and feedback. Direct fan funding, subscription patronage, and micropayments could enhance author stability, while collaborative ecosystems transform publishing into a shared creative economy built on reciprocity and mutual support. Challenge 3: Marketing Burdens. Embedded in social and algorithmic networks, digital marketing now depends on authors and readers as co promoters. Although major publishers retain marketing budgets, many fail to leverage digital opportunities or effectively target niche audiences. Consequently, authors cultivate their own readerships, developing reader loyalty through online engagement to maintain visibility. The digital economy offers authors direct access to readers, where authors handle their own publicity through social media, newsletters, and online communities, developing personal brands. Social media engagement has become a commercial expectation, blurring boundaries between creative and promotional work. Authors now function as both creators and marketers, merging storytelling with continual self promotion. Algorithms amplify these pressures. Creators who disengage lose visibility, with platforms rewarding consistent activity that drives discoverability and sales. While these platforms provide autonomy and direct access to audiences, it intensifies labor and widens economic inequalities. By 2035, the author's role may recenter on creativity through intelligent systems such as AI driven marketing tools and automated community management systems, while preserving reader connection. Collaborative platforms may let authors share audiences and pool resources, while analytics personalize outreach to create greater equity. Challenge 4: Book Piracy. Online piracy was a major issue about a decade ago, when there were immense losses to publishers due to piracy. There are no agreed figures, as it is difficult to estimate exact losses in such a scenario, but studies show that the losses were in the hundreds of millions of dollars globally. From the perspective of the digital economy, this development has also involved unpaid labor. This is because piracy results from the sharing and distribution of digital content by users who have not paid for it, but it benefits the owners of the piracy platforms without benefiting actual publishers or authors, which resembles the concept of unwaged digital labor in the cyber world. Often users themselves, knowingly or unknowingly, play a role in promoting piracy. This could be the case of university students trying to save money by printing chapters. It was also seen that overemphasis on digital rights management led to over stringent control by the publishers, which ultimately went against their own interests. This problem was resolved by 2035 through a mix of technical, financial, and environmental measures. The use of technology made counterfeiting more difficult and perpetrators easier to track. Publishers also aim to lower costs and add value for consumers so that the effort spent sharing, downloading, or using pirated material does not seem worth it. Lastly, the digital economy is all about networking, sharing, and collaboration. This concept was used to create an ecosystem where users got value rather than just content in the form of comments, interactions, engagement, and updates, thereby differentiating authentic book content from pirated content. All these efforts jointly led to the solution of the problem of piracy. Challenge 5: AI generated plagiarism. One of the major problems that plagued the world in the year 2025 was the use of AI for plagiarism and unauthorized use. This practice developed in the digital economy as AI began to be used on a mass scale, and it also brought the evil of unpaid labor exploitation with it. The unpaid labor comes into the picture since technology companies use publicly available data for feeding and training their AI algorithms. This means that the creative efforts of others are extracted as unpaid data, which is used by tech companies in the digital economy for profit. In those years, companies were trying to cope with this situation by using AI powered tools to detect AI generated text. But the problem remained significant as major companies were literally forcing people to provide their content for training purposes through various means. However, using technical tools was not sufficient for a permanent solution to this problem, as AI capabilities were limited at that time, and so were the capabilities of the detection tools based on the same AI platforms. Slowly, over time, it was realized that the real solution lay in finding the unique differentiation between machine algorithms and human creativity, which could be used for achieving the competitive edge. This led to an emphasis on highly refined, personalized creative works with emotional strength and creativity that could not be matched by machine algorithms of the time. This trend gained strength and, along with collaborative efforts between authorities, organizations, and content creators, it led to an ecosystem with robust technical mechanisms to detect plagiarism, AI generated content, and copyright violations, along with high levels of manual creativity, which led to the current situation in 2035. This has finally led to a situation where human beings, creators of AI technology, have earned their rightful place above the algorithms they generate. Challenge 6: Creative Career Precarity. The digital world has given rise to online gig work, and creative writing is one such job. The number of writers offering their services across different platforms is increasing, and these platforms often extract unpaid labor from gig workers. This may not be directly exploited in terms of work without payment, but the working conditions include a lack of social security, long hours with lower wages, and a highly competitive environment. All this results in the extraction of labor at very nominal rate and exploitation, as is the case with most gig workers across the world. Labor relations are also highly unstable, as there is no job security. A few bad remarks by clients can literally destroy the career of a gig writer, at least on that specific platform. The platforms exploit their power and usually act in a biased manner, favoring clients over freelancers. There was no health or any other type of insurance for online creative writers or any gig workers for that matter, and long, tedious hours of constant work led to serious health issues such as tendinitis, sleep deprivation, and cervical spondylosis. This was the situation in 2020, and only through ongoing developments such as collaborative initiatives between workers and platform owners did the conditions improve over time. Governments intervened by providing similar safeguards to gig workers like their physical worker counterparts. Unions of digital workers were formed, which represented the concept of connectivity and networking and helped to improve the situation drastically. All these developments led to improvements in conditions of creative writers working in the gig economy across various digital platforms. Finally, by 2035, the situation is under control and the writers can focus on their creative endeavors rather than worrying about job security, underpayment, or exploitation. Conclusion. In conclusion, the challenges faced by the publishing industry regarding the digital economy about a decade ago in 2025. In conclusion, the challenges faced by the publishing industry regarding the digital economy in 2025 have been outlined in the above discussion. It was seen that although these challenges related to different aspects of the publishing industry, such as creative writing, piracy, and AI generated plagiarism, they shared a common underlying factor. This factor was the unpaid labor and exploitation, which had become a major evil in the otherwise booming digital economy of that time. The discussion also showed how these shortcomings were addressed, and the situation turned positive slowly and steadily over the time span of a decade. Although several problems still need to be addressed, these issues have mostly been rooted out of the digital economy. However, it requires constant vigilance and adaptation to changing times and technology to ensure this advantage is not lost. Change is the only constant in the dynamic world of the digital economy, and the same holds true for these challenges, along with others that are in the process of being resolved. The end of the exploitation of unpaid labor is a major achievement of the past decade.